So the basketball players are already $100 million stars now before they even set foot on a basketball court. So for them to get hurt, it takes away from them. But back in the day, you had to play to get the money. You didn't get the money before you became a star. You got the star. You got the money when you was a star. So to me, that's the difference in the two eras. Now, like prime example, Joel Embiid, look at all that money he's making, and they said he played 64 games since he became MVP.
Yeah.
But he's making all his money. So there's no need for these guys to play all these games because they already got the money. But you go in that Larry Bird era, that Magic Johnson era, you didn't get that big contract until you proved that you was the man.
Right. It worked the other way around.
Yeah, it worked the other way around. And that's how it is in boxing. Did you hear about the Mayweather and Pacquiao new fight on Netflix? And how Mayweather now is trying to run from it?
Well, Mayweather, what he trying to do? He trying to make it a what is it called? Like an exhibition fight instead of he don't want the tarnish. And see, that's our point. That affects your legacy when you worried about your record more so than you are, testing your boxing skill and putting on the best performance you can. Everybody put it. That's what part of the excitement is putting it on the line. This is on the line. This for all the marbles.
Right, and that's what Mayweather's scared of. Mayweather wants to be an exhibition so it doesn't go against his record. And Pacquiao and Netflix are like, oh no, you signed a contract for a real fight, not no exhibition. And the problem is Netflix already gave him the money for the fight.
That's great.
And he's trying to back out. And Pacquiao like, no, I'm not going to fight no exhibition. So that's what they fighting, locking horns about. So that fight might not even take place now.
Interesting. You know what? I feel like the dude he having money problems. They might be able to. They might be able to dictate the terms of that. They be like, man.
Well, they already taking him to court. That's the problem. Now the fight's supposed to happen in September, and he's going to court now in April.
Really?
So so it's like, wow, what the hell?
See, I'm just not used to seeing athletes do that. Like up until Kobe and everybody, and then even across sports, like when you look at Tom Brady, everybody, man, everybody just left it out there on the court, basically, is what, you know what I mean? So I don't care that what's the guy, Holmes, the boxing division was a little bit weaker when Holmes came in after Ali, Foreman, Frazier, and all that. But Holmes still fought everybody, didn't duck nobody, and he did the best he could do for that era. So you can't knock Holmes at all for what he did in his era. Then boom, now you got Mike coming in on the heels, and Mike, that's all I'm saying. You right. I agree with y'all. You can't really compare the eras because they different, but we want to see you compete, like the old guys everybody did across all sports.
Right, and I think that's we have been conditioned to seeing the best take on the best. Right. When you come from when you watching sports in the 80s, the 90s, early 2000s, we're conditioned to see the best take on the best. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And seeing the best want to take the best on. Like, don't run from nobody. We want to see you play, and they want to play them to prove that they're the best. Yeah. This era in sports, it's like everybody wants to run until they get to that main thing, and like, okay, now we're in the main, let's play.
Yeah.
Because prime example, what they're doing in college basketball. College basketball isn't the same because everybody, as soon as they get in, the high end people leave.
Yeah.
So you got
whatever you think about the era Larry Holmes fought in. Larry Holmes was a hell of a boxer.
Oh, hell yeah!
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, he was just like Roy Jones. You know what I mean? Roy was a hell of a boxer. Some people say that era wasn't like what was Sugar Ray and like all those guys who fought. But you can't take nothing away from Holmes or Roy because they
fought who was in that category.
Yeah, that's it.
And they fought who was put in front of them.
And there were several cats in that era that really revolutionized the multi-division champion. Roy being one of them.
And what was the other dude name? Not Pacquiao. What was the other Spanish guy name?
Chavez.
Chavez, yes.
Cesar Chavez.
See, yep. He did a lot for the sport too of boxing. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff that goes on in sports right now that has that underlying stuff that we tend to always talk about the GOATs, but we're not even talking about people that make the GOATs. You know what I'm saying? Because Jordan is great, but you know why Jordan is great? Because he played against great opponents. You know what I'm saying? He played against great people. He played against Hall of Famers.
He played in an era that was positional basketball.
Right.
And that made a difference in the style of play that he was allowed to exhibit his physical dominance.
Yep, exactly. And then also those 80s and 90s and early 2000s, there are more great NBA players coming out that era than I think will ever come out again, in my opinion. I mean, because there's some superstars that came in, and that's only because I watched them. So some other people may disagree with that, but because of what I saw, dude, that era was just phenomenal. That's what makes Jordan my GOAT for that era, because the competition that he played up against was just great.
Well, they say the 80s was like, the 80s and going into the 90s, that was the best era. That's what they say.
Yeah, that was, to me, premier basketball right there.
That was the apex of
Man, the 90s era.
What's going on, Jack?
It was good. It was good with you, man. How everybody doing, man?
What's up, Tom?
Good to see my brothers, man.
Hey, Tom, I think the 80s. I think the 80s was better than the 90s. Because once you started to bring up expansion, once you started to bring in those expansion teams and you diluted that talent pool, you had some really good teams in the 80s, man. It was just
that's what I say. When that 90s, it kind of was watered down a little bit. But the 80s was tough, man. The 80s was tough. And I was just thinking, Mike, man, you talked about this a couple times, man. Like a lot of good teams that didn't win during the 80s and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of good teams, man. That Dallas team with Mark Aguirre, Rolando Blackman and them, and the Seattle team with X-Man and them, man, and Dale Ellis and them, man. There were some good teams that wasn't able to win.
Yeah.
San Antonio with Terry Cummings and them, man. Yeah. So I mean, the 80s was tough, man. The 80s was tough.
Yeah. The 80s was tough, man. So
yeah.
I mean, and in the 80s, they knew how to keep those franchises together. You know what I'm saying? That Lakers team, that Celtics team, them boys stayed together and played together. You know what I'm saying? Even the early Detroit teams that had to build themselves up to be great once they got to the 90s.
It was simple at times then too, though.
Didn't players have they didn't have as much freedom of movement like they do today, right?
That's right.
Yeah. And again, you didn't get paid until you proved yourself. It wasn't me pay you now and then you prove yourself after I pay you. You didn't get paid until you proved yourself.
Yeah, there wasn't getting paid on potential.
Right.
And a lot of those guys in the 80s didn't have endorsement deals. You had to be a part of a championship team to start getting commercials and stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So that makes a big difference now. And these kids getting shoe deals and everything else coming out of college and stuff. So it makes a huge difference as well.
It used to be you had to prove yourself in the leagues, in the championships to become a superstar. Now you got cats being superstars and because of social media before they've proven anything in the pros.
Yeah.
That's true.
So let me ask y'all this: and Michael Jordan said something about, so if you reward people before they even do that, take some of the incentive out of the, you know what I mean? That'll make you want to work as hard because now you don't have nothing. You feel like you made it if you get the money first.
Oh yeah, it definitely gets good, dude. You know what I mean? Yeah, it definitely had that effect. It definitely had that effect. Yeah.
Look at it this way: major sports is the only profession that you get paid before you perform. Everywhere else, if you get paid $300,000 a year, they break that down between 52 years. I mean, 52 weeks. Okay, so you're getting a little check every week, and if you don't perform, they let you go, and you don't get no more checks.
Yeah, you're right. That is,
huh?
That is, you're right. That is, you know, if you go around a community cutting people's lawn, you don't get no money till you finish.
Right, until you cut the lawn. Right.
Yeah. So
in the NBA, you sign a contract and you suck, you still gonna get your money. Now you may not get that next contract, but you're still gonna get that first contract.
I heard Michael say that, and I just think it depends on the individual. For some people, that is the case, but for others, it's not. Some people are just natural born competitors, and they just come in the league and they go to work, you know. So
it don't go for everybody. That's true. It don't go for everybody.
And in prime cases I could talk about is your boy Flag. You know they great trying to extend his contract now at this first year.
Yeah.
Okay, which makes sense.
Yeah.
The boy's killing it right now, so it makes sense because he's performing. Yeah. Right, he's coming in, he's competing, and he's performing. Makes total sense. Then you get somebody like Embiid that you done paid all his money, and he's only played 62 games since he's been MVP. Makes no sense. Why are we even considering extending his contract? You know what I'm saying? Why he's not on the chopping blocks right now? I have no idea what Philly's doing.
Right.
Because when Embiid is healthy, you know what I'm saying, he can contribute, but he's never healthy.
Right, and that's
why people hang their hat on it. Because when he gets right, he can help. When he gets right, he can help. But
that's what I'm talking about. Just like you said, and that's what I'm talking. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. The NBA, they paying these guys for what ifs. So if Embiid gets healthy, he'll be the man for as long as he's healthy. But the question is, what if?
Well, let's go back.
MVP, Hall of Fame.
Say that again, Tom.
Y'all think Embiid right now, if he don't play another game, you think he's a Hall of Fame?
I mean, based on how the NBA do it, yeah, because it ain't as strict as the NFL. So I think he will. He done won an MVP and stuff like that. I think he will be.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just saying on that alone, Clayton. I was just saying that on that alone because he got that MVP.
Because he got that MVP, yeah. But let's take it back a little bit, fellas. You saying they're getting paid before they do anything. That's always been the case with rookies. It's just the money hasn't been this big. Whenever you coming in and you the first round draft pick and stuff, even whether it was Magic, whether it was Bird, Doc, or whatever, and Tom, you and I watched the ABA. They was willing to give Kareem $1 million to join that league before he did anything. So that's always been a thing. You pay him on potential. It's just now the money is bigger because there's more money in the pot. So, you're going to do that to some degree.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You definitely. But that's why they have the caps. That's why they have the rookie salary caps. Because back in those 90s, I mean, the 70s and 80s and everything, those rookies were coming in and demanding big boy contracts. Magic is one of them. Magic was trying to demand more than Kareem. And he ain't stepped foot on a pro basketball court. But he wanted more than Kareem.
Yeah.
But to me, it's all about you can see the potential in somebody, and in most of sports, you pay for potential. Okay, but when you get these second, third, and fourth contracts on some of these guys, you're still paying Embiid. I'm bringing him up again. You're still paying for what Embiid can do. If you pay for actually what Embiid has done, Embiid would be a salary employee right now. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't come to work.
Yeah. But when he's out there, his production is there. He's just never out there.
Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah, but like they said, the best ability is availability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he's like a career 27 point score was career, something like that.
Hey, the production is up. Yeah, the production is up. Yeah, but I want to welcome my man Kent back to. I haven't seen Kent. We haven't seen Kent in the chat in a while. I guess it's getting back towards WNBA season. So Kent,
is that who that is?
Yeah, that's Kent. Yeah.
Hey, good morning.
Yeah. What I did want to say something about, because I saw somebody said that what's the young lady, Kelsey Mitchell is going from like 700,000 to like I think she made 700,000 over her career. Now she get ready to make in 1 year what she made over the course of her career.
Yeah, 1.2 million or something like that for a 1 year contract.
Yeah,
it was talking about that. Yeah,
that's pretty good, man.
Yeah,
Hell yes, it is.
I would just tell Kent, be patient, man. A lot of people jump out the window over these moves and deals, and even over the coach and stuff. But sometimes you just gotta see how it play out, you know.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
What do y'all think about Angel Reese going to Atlanta?
I think for Angel, yeah.
Go ahead, Mike. No, you go ahead.
Oh yeah, I think for Angel, I think it's going to be if she take advantage of this opportunity, I think it's going to be a good opportunity, right? She got some really good veterans down there in Atlanta, and for what their skill set is like, she fit in without disrupting anybody else, in my opinion, like infringing on anybody else's job or skill set down there. So it's all going to be like what Angel make out of it.
You think she's willing to put in the work to be a better player down in Atlanta?
Yeah,
because the Atlanta nightlife is so much worse than where she was at. So that's something that you got to stay focused with down in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You think that she has the ability to stay focused to be a WNBA star and not a social media star?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think she's worried. The only thing she's worried about is that second word in both of those, star. It doesn't matter to her which one it is, as long as she's a star. Now, I think the key component there is the chemistry, right? How is the chemistry going to work with the established players down there in Atlanta? What does the offense and the defense strategy look like? How does she plug into that? Is she coming off the bench? She's going to hate that. Those are the kind of things that are going to factor into how she feels about being there in Atlanta. The Chicago Sky has been a toxic mess since she showed up, and I don't know that she's the cause of the toxic mess, but it was a toxic mess when she was there and Kennedy was there, and that head coach, I already forget her name, but I mean it was a mess, and they needed to strip it all down and redo it in Chicago. So it made sense. I think this has the potential, to your point, man, that it could be a win-win if everybody approaches it the right way.
This my thing with Angel. It's a great opportunity. It's a great team, but I don't think she's going to be the focal point. In Chicago, she was, and she wanted to be, and it rubbed a lot of her teammates the wrong way. It was a lot of resentment. There was a resentment at LSU. It came out later, her and Flage and all that. There was some problems in Maryland. It came out later. And then you had problems in Chicago. Now, Ryan Howard is great. Alicia Gray is great. Bree Jones down there. They're not focused on just feeding her. She's going to have to play a role. She's going to have to be a rebounding machine. And a lot of times she needs to kick the ball back out as opposed to trying to put up them layups, because, I mean, quite frankly, her skill set ain't as great as some of those players she got around her. So the thing is going to be, is she going to, what I'm saying? Is she going to be okay? Because to me, you are who you are at some point. And you know what I'm saying? And sometimes you can try to change that and it can go for a little while, but at some point it rears its ugly head. So that's going to be the only thing I see with Angel being there with all those great players, is that it's not going to be all about her. She got to play a role. She's got to play a role. And I'm not sure if she can, but we're going to see.
I think because they had success without her before she got there. They had a little bit of success, and they had those veterans down there. I think she's going to have to kind of like she's going to have to conform to a certain extent.
Yeah, but
you think she'd be good at doing that though?
But
she's think she'd be good at that?
That's the thing. Does she have the personality to conform? That's my only thing. That's what I'm waiting to see.
Yeah, because she's dealing now. She's dealing with grown women now, you know.
Don't matter.
I think because and then on top of that, if she don't conform, then that's not a bad look on the team. That's a bad look on her.
You're right.
You know, so
you're right. But we always say
if she don't,
mm-hmm.
even as a role player, if she has some, if Atlanta Dream has some success as a role player, that's still, you know, she still look good for that.
I mean, we say that we can see that, but I'm saying what's going on in Angel's mind.
Yeah,
you know, I don't know. Yeah. I think it's a great opportunity for them. To be honest, the Fever beat them in the first round, but I don't know if the Fever got enough to beat them now in the first, if they met up in the playoffs. I don't know if they got enough. That's a great opportunity for Angel.
So is Brittany?
No, Brittany Griner is gone. She's gone. Yeah. They said that Connecticut's Sun is trying to sign her for over $1 million some. To me, that's crazy. Because she's from Houston. Yeah, she's from Houston. So when the team moves to Houston after this season, they trying to sign her to a multi-deal. She'll be back home where she come from.
Yeah.
How
much gas she got left in the tank, though?
Let me ask you a question. With all the new money that the WNBA is having, is Caitlin Clark getting a new contract this year?
She got a raise. Everybody's got a raise. She's not eligible for an increase until next season. But her salary went from 70-something to over 500,000. So
yeah.
Caitlin ain't crooked. And you know, a lot of people are thinking that the Fever won't be able to sign people. I don't think Caitlin, when she is eligible, I don't think she's going to take a max contract or anything.
Yeah.
Nope. I think she's going to be working on.
Is there a salary cap right now in the WNBA?
Yeah, $7 million for each team.
You know what? Don't play figures out. They might. The Players Association might make her take the max deal. You know what?
Wow.
Her not taking a max deal and being one of the better players in the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to hurt other players that try to get a max deal that come behind her.
It could.
They gonna say, well, Caitlin Clark only took this. Caitlin Clark only took that. You're not better than her. You know what I'm saying? So the Players Association might, you know what I mean? If I don't know if y'all can remember, years ago, Mike Mussina kept giving the Orioles a hometown discount, right? And other pitchers and people, you know what I'm saying? They was mad at that because they say when they were due up for a new contract, they was like, we're not getting paid because they compare our numbers to yours and say, look what Mike Mussina took. And he had a better year than you. You know what I'm saying? So it could have a domino effect in a bad way if she don't max out.
And let's not forget that happened to Jordan too. That happened to Jordan. Jordan was giving Chicago hometown discounts.
And Tom Brady.
Yep. That happened to both. That happened to both of them.
Yeah, but when Tom did it, it didn't affect other quarterbacks.
You don't think so?
No, they were still maxing out.
Yeah, I
See,
know.
If you're a great player and you got leverage on that team, and that team re-sign you, to me, you got negotiating power. But you make a good point. Y'all make a good point. It could have a ripple effect. I just don't think it will. When a team need a player and that player great, and that agent is great, they're gonna get that player that money.
Yeah.
You know.
But they might not be able to get. You know what I'm saying? If you're not if you're like not as good as Caitlin Clark and you're able to you up for a max deal, and they look at Caitlin Clark and say, well, look what she took. You're not as good as her, so you can't get that much because she's not getting that much. Well, she only getting that. So,
the team's definitely going to try to do that leverage for sure. But I think to Clayton's point, a good agent will anticipate that and say that, you know, apples and oranges. Let's talk about what we got in front of us.
And it's not like the NFL. They don't just set the market like the NFL has set the market. It's not the same in basketball like that.
Yeah.
Not as much.
Especially in the NBA, it's different.
Yeah, it's different.
But the team's definitely going to try that leverage for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
As they should.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the NBA, right?
Mhm.
Hold on, let me make some adjustments here. Pull that off. Can we see everybody on here?
Yeah, we can see everybody.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. So this is like what the schedule would look like if the playoffs started today, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think, in my opinion, I think the East got some talent over there. It's not as weak as like what people making the East out to be, in my opinion. I don't know what y'all think. Y'all agree or y'all disagree?
No, I mean the East is wide open.
Mm-hmm.
The East to me is wide open. Anybody can win at any point in time. The East is wide. Like the Knicks beat the Celtics a couple of days ago. You know what I'm saying? Detroit's not as healthy as they should be. You know, you don't know what Cavaliers. Huh?
Man, who's your favorite? Who's your favorite to come out the East? Who's your favorite?
I got the Celtics. I think the Celtics can get it together and come out the East. I think they can get it together. But it's wide open. Like you never know. Like prime example, look how well Charlotte is playing right now. Charlotte is playing some good basketball right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if they get on a hot streak, you can find them in the Eastern Conference Finals if they get on a hot streak.
They definitely gonna get past the Heat.
Yeah. It's wide open, man.
Yep.
Yeah. I think I like Charlotte in that playing game, like you said, Clayton against the Heat. I like them in that game. What y'all think about the Magic? I like the Magic over the 76ers in that.
Yeah.
Magic are playing.
Well, now Embiid out. So
Embiid's out. So
Embiid out. I don't know what's up with Paul George, but Embiid is out. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't think if Embiid was there, y'all don't think the Magic could still beat them with Embiid?
No.
I don't.
The 76ers they were surging recently before Embiid got hurt because Paul George came back and they were surging. Them three was doing their thing.
I'm about to say, if you got Embiid, Paul George, and Maxey, and they all healthy, I got them both going.
Yeah, see, we gotta remember we just talked about Embiid. It ain't Embiid playing. It ain't Embiid on the court. Embiid problem is off the court. If he's on the court, he's a top 3 center, a top 10 NBA player. If he's on the court. So I would give it to the 76ers if he was playing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Y'all know Cade Cunningham back, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I heard he's back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It might. I don't know. You know how long it might take him to get back in the groove a little bit, right? You know what I'm saying? But they need him back. I know that they need him back.
Oh yeah, they definitely need him. And not only do they need him back, but he gonna need help. He gonna need another scorer, somebody else who can create their shot, in my opinion.
That's why they didn't try to do that, man. At the trade deadline, man, it seemed like they would try to get somebody in there to help them. But they was the number. They've been like the 1 seed over there all year, damn near. So you know.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm really looking forward to is that Clippers Warriors playing game. That's the one I'm really looking forward to.
Clippers Warriors. Okay.
Yep. That's the one because you know.
I got the Clippers. Because I don't know if Steph gonna be healthy.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he back, but but for how long though? Yeah.
He back. I didn't know he was back.
Yeah, he
back.
Yeah, he back.
Because I got to admit, with Jimmy Butler, the Warriors looking good. Without Jimmy Butler, I don't know what Warrior team we watching week after week.
Even with Jimmy still what 35, 36. Steph like 37.
Yeah.
38. Yeah, man. Them guys a little lower than the truth, man. I mean, Draymond, what, 73?
Yeah. But they're going. But the Warriors, when they had Jimmy, we were talking about the Warriors, as a good team, maybe a playoff team with one pitcher, with one person, added. Now we talking about not even coming out the play. I mean, out the playing game. So it's the Golden State Warriors are falling fast with older players, and if they don't do it this year, to me, they just need a clean roster.
If they don't do what this year?
If they don't get into the playoffs. Yeah, I'm not even talking about going to the finals. I'm talking about you getting to the playoffs. If they don't get to the playoffs this year, they need to consider starting trading some of their assets away, try to get younger and rebuild.
I think even if they get into the playoffs, they need to pivot. I mean, you playing in the play-in tournament. I mean, it's time to pivot.
Yeah. You know, they didn't been there like 3 of the last 4 years in the play-in.
Yeah, it's time to pivot.
Playing like 3 of the last 4 years, man. But Steve Kerr, he's not a good coach when it comes to young players. He's not a good coach when it comes to young players.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you guys this question then. If you're Golden State management, do you consider trading Steph Curry, or do you let him retire as a Warrior?
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with Steph
don't
now.
get traded. Yeah, Steph don't get traded. He don't get traded.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with Steph now.
Yeah, everybody else, you know what I mean, it's fair game, but I don't trade Steph.
I wouldn't even trade Draymond at this point in time. You know.
Now, but do you go into the draft looking for his replacement though?
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
That free agency, try to get something in free agency.
Right. Yeah, you try to add to it. Yeah, you definitely try to add to it. But and I'm thinking, Mike, you said about Draymond. I don't even think you would get much for Draymond. You know,
no value.
Right.
It don't make no sense really to upset the, you know what I mean, to upset the chemistry and the apple, you know, because you're not gonna really get nothing for Draymond, you know. So
right.
Hey, and as great as Steph is, there's no value there either.
Right, yeah, because they know, yeah.
I think it's
but then from what we're saying, then they're hurting the franchise by their salaries now. So do you move their salaries is the question. Because you're still gonna pay Steph top dollar, you're still paying Draymond top dollar. That means you can't bring in the talent until you move those contracts.
Steph don't go nowhere. You know what I mean? Steph don't go. I say Steph stay put. You know what I mean? No matter what.
Right. Oh yeah. I agree with Steph. Draymond maybe not, but I definitely agree with Steph. But somewhere down the line, these guys got to renegotiate these contracts so you can bring better talent in.
But that's why I guess for the next couple of years they're gonna be trying to go through the draft. I don't think because if like it wouldn't make no sense to try to bring somebody like Giannis in, you know. With Steph and Draymond, because Giannis, he gonna command some money, but you got those guys tying up money. So you just basically go through the draft and see how you can rebuild then.
Steph's contract is up after next year. So he only got 1 more year. It's up.
Yeah. They get ready to come off anyway, him and Draymond. So
yeah.
And
now if they were trying to win this year, then that'd be different, you know. But they, you know,
I think even if you bring Giannis in, I mean, you had to give up some players to get him. But I'm saying if you brought Giannis in and add him to Steph now, I don't even know if that's enough to get him over the hump.
Right. Yeah. I don't see Milwaukee trading with Golden State because Golden State has nobody to trade with, except they don't even have lottery picks because they're just good enough not to have a lottery pick.
Yeah. Now, they're not about to say now that you're gonna give up picks because the players they got, there's nothing that Milwaukee's gonna want. They're not gonna want Jimmy Butler. They're not gonna want Draymond. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what they're to give up to get them.
And this is the last year on Draymond's contract. He does have a one-time fee player option for next year, but his contract is up the 25-26 season. So, like I said, it's a great time for Golden State to pivot.
Yeah. What you got to say about Jim? What you got to say about that, Jim?
I think it's going to be an interesting game today because they play each other today, and I think I'm not sure Draymond's still day to day with whatever he's got going on with lower leg stuff, and is Kawhi still out? Anybody know if Kawhi?
No, I thought he was playing. Yeah, I thought Kawhi was playing.
Yeah, I thought I saw something that he was questionable for today's game, but it'll be. I think it'll be an interesting precursor to if they still hold those seedings that for the play-in next week. So I mean, I'm looking forward to today's game just to see how they're getting ready. But yeah, the Warriors are definitely in that purgatory of not good enough to really make a decent run, but not bad enough to have something in the cupboard to trade with.
Yeah.
So, hey, let me ask you guys this question. Looking at your board, Mike, are we excited to see LeBron and Durant maybe play for the last time in the playoffs against each other?
I'm looking forward to that series too. Yeah. If the Cleveland and because this the old school guys right here, right? You got all when you talk about Steph, LeBron, and Kevin Durant, I'm interested to see how far these old dudes, which one of these old dudes got something left in the tank and can at least get their team out of the first round.
Houston plays the Lakers.
I know, yeah.
5 versus 4, so that will be the Durant versus LeBron right there.
Yeah.
And if Luka can come back, that might be a great, probably one of the best series to watch in the first round.
If the Lakers can keep that position, because those Nuggets are surging like a mofo.
Yep.
The Nuggets are right on their heels, could jump up and at the last minute snatch that spot and push the Lakers back down up against the Timberwolves, and that hasn't been a very good matchup in the playoffs for the Lakers.
Hold up, Jim. Hold up. The Nuggets is number 3. The Lakers is 4.
Right.
That's why the Nuggets playing the Timberwolves.
That's right. You're right. Okay. You're right. I had that switched. Yeah. No, you're right. So
the team I haven't heard a lot of people talking about Minnesota going into the playoffs. How they look?
They are struggling because they've had some injuries. Ant's been struggling with some leg injuries, and they've struggled the last couple of weeks. They've not been looking good. And they've been losing to teams they should be beaten, and they just haven't looked. And it's injuries. It's this time of year.
And so let me ask you guys a question then. Do you think the Timberwolves were better with Cat? Because now since Cat is gone, do anybody fear the Timberwolves anymore?
To me, they're the same team.
Yeah. Well, they went to 2 straight Western Conference Finals. You know what I mean? They went to 2 straight Western Conference Finals.
One with Cat, one without him. Yeah. They seem like the same thing.
They don't still and to see like the dude Randall, has he been playing or he's been out?
I don't know.
He's out right now.
Me either. But see, like I'm saying, at first he was taking up that scoring void that Cat left. Yeah. But since it seemed like lately he hasn't been. But you say he's been out, so maybe that's why. Because he's been out. You know what I'm saying? But
while everybody talking about SGA and Wemby and all that, the Denver Nuggets is coming. I watched him and Wemby go at it the other night. Now, in fairness to Wemby was checking the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
But the Joker wasn't sticking Wemby.
Yeah.
So down the stretch, Wemby legs, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He still put 34 on the Joker, but the Joker put up 40 in overtime. But here again, Wemby playing him. He's not guarding Wemby, so he got a little bit more fresher legs. But I watched him play. Hey, man, the Joker in Denver, don't sleep on him. That's all I'm saying.
I just if Gordon is healthy and he can play defense, you know what I mean? If he could get some on the offensive end, the Joker going to do his thing.
He's the key to that, Mike.
Gordon,
he's the key to that. You know what I'm saying? Because he got size, he athletic, he can get him down the court. Yeah, he's the key.
And Jamal Murray playing too.
Well, if he see the Lakers, Jamal Murray gonna turn into Michael Jordan if they play the Lakers. He gonna turn Michael Jordan. Every time he
so
played the
what-
Lakers, you know what I'm saying? He go off.
So with that being said, with the end of the season coming up, who is MVP?
Well, they're gonna give it to SGA, but you know,
Yeah.
they're gonna give it
Who
to
you
him.
think deserve it? Who you think deserve it, Clay?
Who I think deserve it? To me, it's got to be between. See, I can't sleep on what the Joker did doing. The triple double is crazy to me, and he's got his team surging, and they had injuries all year, so he's been keeping them afloat. That means something to me. But you know what Jaylen Brown doing, what he did, what Wemby did. You know, SGA is great, but they got a great team. So you know, it's just hard. I just think.
But can you penalize them for having a great team though?
That's not a penalty. I don't think that's a penalty, but because he's not the most valuable. That's not a penalty.
If you averaging 30 on a team that done won 60 games, yeah, I mean, he got, to me, he's at the top of the pyramid. You know what I'm saying? He's at the top of the pyramid.
Let's take a look at this. When SGA ain't play, right? OKC still got a winning record. I think they went 9-5 in his absence. You understand what I'm saying? I don't look at it as you penalizing him. The boy won MVP last year. It's not a penalty. But I'm just saying, when you got other guys that's got to carry more of the load and they got lesser talent, and like I said, you putting up a triple. I mean, this dude averaging 30, 11 assists, and 11 rebounds, 10 assists, whatever. That's a lot for a team that's been hampered with injuries all year. That's a lot, man.
Would that be more impressive if Russ ain't do it for 4 years? Would it be more impressive then?
Russ didn't lead a winning team. Russ just was Russ was stat patting.
Now listen, hold up. Now you say Russ was stat patting, right? Why you think Joker not? Why would you think Joker not stat patting?
Because they need every single thing he does. They need it to win.
You didn't think that team, that OKC team that Russ was on, you don't think they needed him to do that?
It wasn't winning.
But I'm just saying he had to do that at least for them to be competitive.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know either. But I'm just
I don't know.
I think if we ain't see Russ do it for 4 years, we would be more impressed. Well, at least I'm speaking for myself. If I ain't see Russ do it for 4 years, I might be a little bit more impressed with Joker's doing. But I guess since I've seen Russ do it, you know what I mean? So it's like, okay.
But I'm impressed with it because it's a center doing it. That's serious, man. He's a center, Tom.
Yeah, well, Russ was a point guard. And
that's what I'm saying. So he's got a high usage rate. He got the ball in his hand. A point guard is going to get these assists. He's going to do that. Now, granted, the rebounding was great, but you know we seen Oscar do it. We seen Magic do it.
Right.
But show me a center that's done it.
Well, when you want to say high usage, I think Joker got a high usage rate. He got the ball in his hands every possession as well. You know, he's not just, it ain't just coming, you know what I'm saying, by happenstance. You know what I mean? The offense, he does facilitate the offense. The offense runs through them. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to take nothing away from him, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean, after seeing Russ do it, you know what I mean, for 4 years, it's like, okay, I mean, it take a little bit off it for me. I'm just gonna speak for myself.
I understand. I'm impressed with it though. I'm still impressed with it. Yeah,
right,
but I hear you though.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But what he's doing is, and like you say, he got him playing winning ball too. They 3 seed over there. So yeah, you can't knock him for it. You can't knock him for it. But I just got shy. I got Shea. I got him as my MVP. I got Wemby up there, man. Wemby might be like
Wemby up there too.
If I got to name 5, Wemby definitely in my top 5. I gotta put for my man for Jaylen Brown. I gotta put him in there too. I gotta put him in there too, Jaylen Brown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's hard.
I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad whoever they gave it to. If they gave it to one of them 4 players or whatever, can't be mad at it.
Yeah, Shea gonna get it. Shea probably gonna get it.
Yeah, I think Shea gonna get it. I wouldn't be mad. The Brown guy is a long shot though. Jaylen Brown is a long shot. In my opinion, out of all of those, I think Shea, Wemby, the Joker, all those guys would probably get it before Brown would. But the Celtics, you know, they've been pretty consistent throughout the season, though. You know, especially when the injuries that they had, you know, with Tatum wasn't in there, and then you know Brown stepped up. So yeah, man.
No,
you
that's
think,
good.
You think Tatum because that game against the Knicks, he had a bad shooting game. I think he had 20 and 10 though, but I think he had a bad shooting game.
He did.
Yeah. Do you think? Because a lot of people I've been watching, you know, little sports shows and stuff. A lot of people think the Knicks is okay with that matchup against Boston. Like they're pretty confident with that matchup against Boston, in the playoffs. If you're the Knicks, would you be confident? Would you be confident going up against that Boston team in the first round?
Yeah, I would. They beat them last year. That's why they're confident.
Yeah, they did beat them last year.
Yeah, but the Celtics are 2 and Boston. I mean, the Knicks are 3. So if they meet, they won't meet until later on, like the second round. I mean, the third round.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What y'all think about Karl Anthony Towns, though? Y'all think he is he going? That's the thing. Like, is he going to show up? He got to be.
Listen, Karl Anthony Brown. I mean,
hey, Clayton, he do stay on it, don't he, Clayton?
Yes, he does.
He stay on it,
hey, listen. If the Knicks don't get it done this year, Giannis is a Knick.
Oh man,
and Cat is gone.
And who's gone?
Cat is gone.
Cat is gone.
Cat is gone.
But why? Now listen, man. Now I wouldn't mind saying that. To be honest, I wouldn't mind saying that. But
is that? Did he freeze up?
Yeah, he freeze up.
No, he's muted. Is he froze or muted?
Yeah, he looked like he froze.
Yeah, he looked like he froze.
But that's okay because I know what you're about to say. So no, I really think that they will get rid of Towns because of the contract.
No, okay.
You can get rid of if you get Giannis, you can build around that. Get rid of that Towns contract. Bring a shooter in to play your power forward position, or bring somebody in that plays great defense. Because to me, Towns is he's just an average person to me. He's an average center. You know, he doesn't wow me at any point. He's not a wild person on defense for me. He's not a wild rebounder. He's not a wild scorer. You know, people don't fear him in the paint. You know, so get what you can get for him. That's just my opinion on Towns. And I don't like that move that the Knicks made for him. You know what I'm saying? And to me, he's not bringing a real relevance to the Knicks that I think that the Knicks thought he was going to bring to him.
I'm glad you said it because it would have. If I'd have said that, it'd been some.
No, Mike, I just tripped, man. I feel bad for all big men that shoot threes and stuff when it comes to you, Mike, because you drag them.
You know, I'm old school. I don't like to see you leave your tennis shoes in that paint. If you come out that paint, you better be barefoot going through the sideline. Leave them sneakers in that paint, man. I just can't. Brunson,
or if you shooting your threes, but you're still dangerous in the paint. Man. Like Joker shoot his threes, but he's still dangerous in the paint. He can pass in the paint. He can dribble in the paint. You know, he can do things in the paint that center's supposed to do.
Who you said?
So, the Joker.
Joker.
Yeah, now see, I don't have no problem with the Joker. Like, because the Joker is, if you put somebody small on him, he gonna take him downtown. Yeah. You know, if he got somebody, somebody big, he gonna pull out and go around them, or what I mean. He just let the circumstances dictate, and he got the talent to be able to do that. But this dude sometimes just try to fit a square peg, man, into a round hole. So. And a lot of them centers do. I'm not feeling centers that shoot all them jumpers, man.
So let me ask you a question. If you're a team and you understand that, that Philly may give up on Embiid as well, do you try to build around Giannis and Embiid? Put Embiid as center and Giannis as power?
No, I don't want that. I don't think that chemistry. I don't think they even go together like Giannis and Embiid. Yeah. And
Yeah, I don't
he
think
just
so either.
stopped the ball. He just like he
Well,
stopped the offense sometimes.
I'm going to say, Embiid is only going to give you 25 games in the whole year. So,
Yeah.
you can count on that pretty much. So,
Yeah.
what do you put around Giannis and let's say that you are the Knicks or you are another team like Atlanta or something like that. What do you put around Giannis to say now we are championship caliber?
Wow. See, I think Giannis is in a tough position though, because I think Giannis can go to New York, but like where else in the league that you could put Giannis, especially like if you put him with a team that's like up and coming, where the situation is not just like where he just came from in Milwaukee.
Now, let me ask you a question. What about Cleveland? What about Cleveland and what about Detroit? Let's say, because we know Detroit is number one right now. We know that. But do Detroit has enough to go to the finals? And if they do they have enough to beat the West? Now, if you're front management, do you consider Giannis to put you over the top as a championship team?
I don't know.
I think a team got to give up too much. Like I don't think a team that's solid is going to be able to keep their solid core and add Giannis to it.
Yeah, who is deep like that have like enough talent where though they can keep and like somebody like OKC who don't need them. You know what I mean? OKC,
right? I wouldn't say OKC, but somebody like Cleveland. Now Giannis could put Cleveland over the top. You got Mitchell and Cleveland. I mean Mitchell and Giannis as your nucleus in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Come on now.
What would Cleveland have to give up?
That'd be the question, because if you're Milwaukee, a lot of teams aren't giving up now. Because Giannis wants to be on the championship team. He doesn't want to be on a rebuilding squad. And everybody that has picks are rebuilding squads. So now if you're Milwaukee, do you take the best offer that's given to you? Or do you wait? I think that's one of the keys too.
I think Milwaukee wants to keep Giannis. I don't think they really want to get rid of Giannis.
I don't think Giannis wants to stay. Yeah. I think after this year and what Milwaukee put around him to say, okay, yeah, we can go championship, I don't think Giannis wants to stay, really.
And I don't think Milwaukee wants to keep him. I think Milwaukee don't want him to get hurt, because he done opened up an NBA investigation against them. Yeah. He said, I'm playing, and Milwaukee trying to sit him. Yep. So now they're being investigated for tanking. Yep. So there is friction there with those two.
Oh, okay. So yeah, and I think
what's going on, Clay. That's exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
Everybody trying to tank to get higher, to seed themselves higher in that draft.
Right. And who's the number one prospect? One of the Boozers is the number one prospect this year.
Well, you got them freshmen. They any of them could go. The Boozer boy, but the boy from BYU, he another one.
Yeah.
The boy from the one in Kansas. Remember the one they were saying he wasn't playing because he wasn't getting all his bread.
What's his name? Daryl something.
Yeah, something like that. From
but I heard a lot about him. Like, he really is not that good per se.
Right. Yeah, I ain't seen enough of him. See, I ain't seen enough.
That's why they say some people say that's why he's not trying to get more film on himself, because his advantage is the playing. You know what I'm saying? The more you play, the more film you get, and you can see flaws in somebody's game. That's one of the reasons that I hear, anyway, that he's not decided not to play because of the film. Because right now, the film, what they got on him right now is good film. Yeah. But as he goes further, especially in the tournaments and stuff like that, you may see his flaws in there. So I don't know about him.
Yeah.
He's got great movement. He's and he's very athletic. And when he's on, he's pretty consistent. But when he's off, he's a Jekyll and Hyde kind of player. At least he was at KU.
Yeah.
When he's on, he's super on. So the potential is there, right? Because we were talking earlier about potential and getting paid for potential. He's still going to get paid because people are going to believe in some sort of potential. And can they tease the consistency out of him and keep him healthy? That's those are the criticisms. The guy moves great. He definitely is athletic, and he's got some good skill. But can he translate that into an 82 game season with being consistent and healthy?
Is this the kid from Arkansas y'all talking about?
No, that's another.
That's Acuff, right? Acuff is at Arkansas, but I think Acuff and the kid at what is that, Kansas or Kentucky? Kansas, they small guards. I don't really, they like around about 6'3" or something like that. Those guards,
That boy out BYU, the Banster though, he like 6'6".
He the one, in my opinion. I think he the most legit.
Yeah, he nice.
I think he the most legit because he got the size, he got the height, right?
Right.
But and then so when you look at Boozer, some people are saying that Boozer, his game is like he played mostly bully ball, and at the next level that may not, because he don't have a big range.
How big is he? Boozer,
he probably I don't know, about like 6'10" or something like that.
Oh damn! Okay. Okay.
So. And he's not really, he don't play above the rim. So he's not somebody who, who's going to wow you with his athleticism. So, yeah. I don't think the draft is as deep as, what I mean? Like what they putting it out to be, like when you look at A-Cup, you look at.
I think it's just top heavy. Maybe like the first two picks, and then, you find.
But is there anybody in the draft that can make Milwaukee better is the question. Because that's going to be the question. What will anybody trade for Giannis? Okay, and if you trade a number 1 draft pick this year for Giannis, what is Milwaukee going to get? They're not going to get a Cooper Flag. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's anybody in the draft right now that can change a franchise. Okay? I might be wrong, give opinion, but I don't think there's a franchise changer in the draft this year.
Well, Cooper Flag, you think Cooper Flag is a franchise change?
Oh, yeah. He's going to be rookie of the year, no doubt. He's a franchise changer. He's the only thing in Dallas.
Well, that's what's going to happen when you bring even if you bring. So what you mean by franchise changer? You use Cooper Flag,
right? Somebody that can come in and make a difference in your franchise. I don't think, like I said, Cooper Flag's coming in. You got to admit, first of all, as a rookie, he's great. As being under 20 years old. Great. You know what I'm saying? Being that number 1 franchise person, he's everything the NBA thought he would be.
He ain't no, but as of right now, I think it's too soon to say he's a franchise change. I just think it's too soon to say that right now. You know what I'm saying? And I understand. Like Jim just said, potential, hell yeah. Because he can ball. Ain't no question about that. He can ball. But
and to me, that's the franchise changer. When you get somebody in your franchise that can ball and is not scared to ball. That's a franchise changer. Now, if he changes it, it's a different story. But we're just talking potential.
Con Knipple is giving him a run for that rookie of the year too. That kid.
It's over. It's over, Mike. He
ain't in the conversation no more.
It's over now. It's over. Cooper Flag, he didn't cement it. It's over. Yeah. Nipple was giving him a run. It's over now.
That guy Nipple was the one that hit all them threes. Ain't that him?
He played for the Hornets.
Yeah, he was doing his thing with the Hornets. I think the
Lakers Dallas game sealed it for Cooper.
What'd you say, Jim?
That Lakers Dallas game sealed it for Cooper.
Yeah, but I just
it's over, Mike.
Their team even looking better, man. They in the playoffs and everything, man. The Hornets.
Yeah.
I think he's a big part of their success. Knipple is right.
He is. Everything you saying is true, except he's no longer in the conversation for rookie of the year.
I think he is because, and then you talk about a guy who having success on a team that's winning. When you look at Cooper Flag team, they not winning like that. They under 30 games, right?
I don't know what their record is. I'll tell you in a minute, though.
Yeah, I think they under 30 wins.
But you got to also understand, though, Cooper Flag's playing with nothing. You know what I'm saying? The Hornets, they still got ball. Ball is proving everybody that he's the best ball brother. First and foremost, with his play this year, he's proven that he's an NBA player this year.
Yeah.
I don't care what everybody said about his previous years in the NBA. This year, he's proven that he's an NBA player. Okay, so you got to take in some consideration with that too. And it's taking into consideration that Michael Jordan is no longer running the team.
Bro, you keep bringing Mike up, man. Mike been gone.
Saying, they seem like they're playing better ball now. It seems like the franchise is going forward now without Michael Jordan.
He sold the team how many years ago?
Like, what was it, 3 years ago?
Hey, man, I'm about to mute your mic if you bring Mike Jordan up again. I'm going to mute his mic.
Listen, I'm just saying, my bad, gentlemen, my bad, Jordan fans. I'm just saying, the Charlotte franchise is looking a lot better now.
Man, listen. Tonk don't want to talk about no Michael Jordan, man.
I'm referring to Jordan. I don't want to talk about. I'm talking about.
I'm messing around, man.
No, and you guys.
I'm just bringing light.
And I know you, especially Mike. Mike's sitting there like, yeah, his hand is on the clicker right now. His hand is on the clicker. I know it. But I'm just saying this. The Charlotte Hornets. That team is playing great basketball because of the situation that they're in. They're younger stars now. Like when you talk about LaMelo Ball, you talk about the Trey Young. You talk about what's the other dude name? Jesus, that went to the Hornets. I mean that we were talking about Jesus. I can't think of the other young guy's name. But you talk about the guys that came into that group, and we were talking about how Ball wasn't really a NBA player. We were talking about how a lot of his accolades is coming from what his father say, is coming from what his brothers is doing, and we're kind of dismissing him. This year he came into his own.
Right.
I always question his shot selection though.
Right.
He still sometimes takes some erratic shots.
Did you see what he did yesterday?
And he be making them.
Yeah. Did you see what he did yesterday, Mike? That what really made you mad yesterday. He passed up a fast break dunk to go out and shoot the three, and he made it.
And
he made it.
Man, listen, that boy bring excitement to the game. But here's why the winning part don't matter with the Rookie of the Year. If you look out throughout the history of the NBA, Rookie of the Year is normally on bad teams. And whoever wins it, it ain't got nothing to do with how successful the team is. It's just about the individual stats that year and how well they played. That's why I said Knipple, the winning ain't going to equate into the decision.
You think he should be mentioned?
He has been mentioned. He is being mentioned. There ain't no question about that. He is. Yeah. I just think it's over now. That's all. Yeah. I think Cooper got it. Yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong with either one of them, though.
Yeah, not with either one of them.
I just the dude, like, he just like the Florida offense, and he settles down a team that can be sporadic at points, man. That gotta say a lot, right? When it's almost like what Joe Dumars was on the Bad Boys. Not to say he at that level, but everybody like Joe Dumars was like he kind of like was the common effect, you know what I mean? When you had Isaiah, Lambert, all those guys was considered sometimes could be loose cannon, right? But the other guy was more stable. Like Joe Dumars was like more stable in that, and so that's why I like about that kid.
I'll tell you this too.
I'm gonna go back to LaMelo and because I saw that play, man. You talking about he ran out to the corner and shot the three. And Clayton was saying that he be making them. I said, well, that's what they show. They show his makes. Sometimes he don't make them. You know and that don't mean it's a good shot just because it went in. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean it's a good decision just because it went in. So and when the playoffs come, man, he's gonna have to make some better decisions. You know what I'm saying? Because them possessions get more and more important. You know what I'm saying? So, but I like LaMelo, man. I love him, man. I like him, man. I like him a lot.
And there's better decisions that's gonna come from him constantly making bad ones. You got to learn sometimes through that, especially when you're a young player and you've been playing a certain style all your life. He'll either learn and get better and make more sound decisions, or he won't, and he'll wind up falling to the wayside. But
I think
the way he play, I love it.
I think you're right. I think that was part of the reason why, like, they tried to sit him a little bit just to kind of like reel him in early in the season. I think he's going. You know.
Yeah, because they had him coming off the bench for a stretch.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, and it might have been because of that. Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe because of that. You know what I'm saying? You don't necessarily want to put a saddle on a guy like that.
You don't.
You know what I mean? But you want to let them know, man, you can't play like, you know, you're on the playground either.
You gotta when you have a talent like that, you gotta live with the mistakes because you're gonna get more good than bad. So you gotta equate that in. Nobody's gonna play a perfect basketball game. So you know that's part of it. But you definitely want to make better decisions in the postseason.
Coaching plays a big part of, and I think man mentioned Trae Young a few minutes ago. When Trae Young was in Atlanta and they brought in my man, the coach that used to be the point guard for Seattle. What's his name, Mike?
Was it Nate?
Yeah. When they brought in, I can't remember his name.
Nate
McMillan.
Nate McMillan.
Okay.
Yeah. Nate McMillan was the coach down there. He kind of reined Trae in. You know what I mean? His turnovers was cut down, and he started taking better shots. And he started playing like a point guard. He wasn't just out there bombing away. You know what I'm saying? So I just equate that to the LaMelo situation. Sometimes a coach can see you and look at you and be like, all right, man, I need you to do this, that, and this. And it's not really putting a saddle on you, so to speak, but it's kind of like just getting you to look at things through a different lens. That's all.
Yeah.
Exciting basketball sometimes, though.
Yeah, it's like getting
it's real flashy and stuff, man. I like that. I forget about his game.
Yeah. So, all right, before we get off this NBA, right? Who y'all like then? Like in the finals, coming out of the East. Who y'all like coming out of the East?
I'm gonna name a team, man, that no one is talking about, and I don't even know if they're going to make it, but I would like to see them. I'd like to see Cleveland in it.
Every year.
I'd like to see Cleveland coming out of the East, and I want to see San Antonio come out of the West.
So let me say this for the betting fans out there. In my bracket for the NCAA tournament, I was in the top 100,000 people in the brackets. All right, nice. Out of 5 million, I was in the top 100,000 with my picks. I'm going with the Celtics, and I'm going with the Spurs. That's going to be my two teams in the NBA Finals, and I'm going to pick the Spurs taking it.
Well,
and the only reason I'm doing that is because it's going to be hard for anybody to stop Wemby. He played on both sides of the ball, and I really think that's what's going to get him over OKC. You know what I'm saying? I think it's something that's going to happen to OKC. Somebody's going to get injured. Something's going to happen where it's going to be OKC is going to be is not going to win it, and the Spurs will. So that's my pick.
I'll say this. If San Antonio got to play Denver, to me, Denver is the only team in the West that can beat the Spurs. Now, I'm not saying Denver going to come out of the West, but if they meet, they'll knock the Spurs off.
Now, you know what? I'm going to tell you this, Clayton.
Yeah.
I think OKC wants that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because OKC have trouble with San Antonio.
They can't mess with San Antonio.
Right. So I think they would rather play Denver than San Antonio because because San Antonio give them trouble. Yep.
Yeah. So, but if San Antonio don't meet Denver, I don't think the Thunder. I think they'll get past the Thunder. I think they'll come out the West. But I'm not so sure that Denver ain't going to meet them somehow. Because I think the one played the 8th seed, right?
Well, yeah.
And then after that, who they will play.
Right, yeah. It depends.
Well, if it goes in order the way everything should go for seeding wise, then the Spurs would meet Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that'd be a wrap for them.
Right, because
OKC
will meet the lowest seed.
Right, the least team, right. So yeah. So like I said, it depends on that matchup. But yeah. And on the East, I don't have a clue, man. I don't have a clue.
I don't think no one does, right? No one does.
I don't have a clue. Yeah, I want to say Boston, but then Detroit back. They got their man back, and yeah. Nobody else though. Nobody really else. I know. Tunk loved Cleveland. He loved Donovan Mitchell, but Cleveland, I don't think they got enough.
That's my guy, Clay. That's my guy.
I know he is. Every team you open.
So you don't think that the Harden curse is going to hit Cleveland too?
What you mean?
The Harden curse.
It probably will. It probably will. The Harden curse. You know what I mean? It'll raise up in the playoffs like it always does. You know what I'm saying? It probably will. But like Clayton say, I like Donovan Mitchell going back to the people days. You know what I'm saying? I like him, so I would want it for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And with Tatum ain't quite himself yet. He can't create a lot of space. That's why he had a bad shoot night the other night.
Right.
He really can't create a lot of space like he used to. So he's not 100%.
Right.
So
that's right. That's right.
I'm not gonna pick the Celtics. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but see, but you make a good point though. So that and I think the Knicks match up well against Boston.
Yes,
the perimeter players, that can match up with Brown and with Tatum defensively. You know what I'm saying? But Josh Hart, them guys, and the other dude, I can't pronounce his name, but they got guys that can match up with them on the perimeter that make life a little bit difficult for them.
And as great as Detroit is, I'm not sold on them coming out the East either.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks find a way in the finals.
Yeah, me either. I wouldn't.
Hey Jim, who you got coming out of the East and the West?
It's probably gonna be something like Spurs, Detroit.
Spurs and Detroit.
But I think Clayton makes a great point. It's hard to figure out it's all about matchups, right? And the East has the most interesting matchups. Certainly at the top of the West, the Thunder versus the Spurs is one of those really interesting matchups. But if the Spurs don't make it, then no one else really matches up with the Thunder.
Yeah.
That's right.
But in the East, there's so many different combinations that it seems
like it's more evenly matched over the East too. They more everybody can match up against one another.
I'm not sleeping on Denver. Yep, go ahead.
They're playing hot right now.
Yep. And they got experience, championship experience. They peaking at the right time. I ain't sleeping on Denver.
Well, that's the thing. You got OKC got championship experience.
That's true.
Denver got championship experience, but then you got this kid Wemby. That's he the difference maker.
Oh, yeah. He the difference maker. Yep.
And he don't even care about what I mean. You see what he been doing at OKC. He don't even care about that ring. I do think the Joker is a bad matchup for him though, because the Joker's so daggone. He physical, and that's how you defeat height. You defeat height with physicality.
Right.
So I don't know, man. The Celtics, I think the Celtics, in my opinion, I think they're probably the only team coming out of the East, I think, that will be able to compete with the Spurs and beat the Spurs. Because you need that 1-2 punch when you come, the Pistons, I like the Pistons, but they don't have that 1-2 punch offensively.
They don't have that second score. That's the only thing that worried me about Detroit. They don't have that second score. Yeah.
Yeah, but if the Celtics get out, that'll be a better series, like the Celtics and the Spurs or the Celtics and the Thunder, because you need that 1-2 punch, man. Hopefully, by the time the Celtics get into the if they make it to the championship, Tatum will be more comfortable playing, coming off of that injury, because he already fresh because he been on the shelf for most of the season anyway. So
But he don't have his explosion. That's why, and that's going to take some time to come back.
Legs back. I'm about to say
he don't have that explosion.
Yeah, he got to get his legs back. Yeah.
That might not be till next year sometime.
And that's the point about that separation. You know what I'm saying? That's the point about separation. Your legs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nobody's afraid of him blowing by them. Nobody. So they ain't playing off of him. Before he could go by you, so they gave you some space. He can easily get his shot off and stuff. they're not scared of that right now. So
even when he was right, Clayton, I don't think he went past people as much as he should have. You know what I'm saying? I don't
yeah,
think he
but
went
the
by-
threat was there though, Tom. The threat, you know.
You're right. No. I agree.
Yeah, but you're right. You're right.
But my point I'm trying to make is it seemed like, man, he just fall in love with that jump shot a little
With
bit.
that three.
Yeah, man. He fall in love with that a little bit too much.
Right.
I like him, you know what I mean? Because
Hey,
he get a shot anytime he wants. He can get a shot.
Yeah.
hey, Mike, let me ask Jim. I want to ask you, Jim. Kind of explain a little bit what you were saying in terms of sports getting boring because of analytics. I thought that was interesting. I want to know where you're going with that. What you think?
So the whole idea about analytics across all sports is to optimize wins over, and what seems to happen, and it doesn't happen in all sports, but certainly in basketball and to some degree in baseball, you're optimizing wins over entertainment, right?
Okay.
And we talked about it with the 3-point, the changes in the NBA with the 3-point, right?
Right.
The mid-range game is almost gone because we're optimizing 3-point shots over the mid-range field goal, and which then just becomes pick and roll, push it back out, open guy, take the three, and there's just not a lot of drama and physicality compared to some of the offenses that we're used to seeing from the 80s and the 90s and early 2000s, and so go to baseball, right? What's the outcome of any specific pitch? It's the main outcomes are ball in play, out, or ball strike, and all the analytics, right? Like the shifting and a lot of the pitching and everything, all the analytics have changed the game such that there are less balls in play, right, than there used to be, because strikeouts are going up, home runs are going up, and with the pitch clock and just all the changes to the game, you have less base runners, and you've got changes to the statistics and what people are looking for. It's not just RBIs, it's what's your launch angle and the speed of the ball off the bat, all those kinds of things. And so it prioritizes things that are focused on winning, which that's the point. But what it sometimes gets sacrificed are those things that we find interesting to watch, right? Stolen bases, way down. Bunts, way down, right? A lot of these action ball in play kind of things are going away, right? Now you shift to NFL, and some of the analytics are a little bit more interesting, right?
It creates drama. Yes.
On fourth down, right? So it's definitely sport dependent, in my opinion.
Yes.
And in some ways, some of the analytics provide the opportunity for better entertainment.
Yeah.
But in some ways, specifically the NBA, it feels like it's watered things down, and now you've got positionless basketball, a lot of 3-pointers, and it's not the same. It's not the same physical game we used to like to watch back in the day.
I think it's all coming back.
Yeah,
I think it's coming back, because especially like when you talk about the point guard position, and then when you talk about the mid-range game, right? And I think even when you look at Duke, the way they lost that game, they didn't have a pure point guard in there, right? So if you got a pure point guard in there, and remember Mike Krzyzewski always had really he had the
always had a point guard.
He had Hurley, he had Williams, he had really pure point guards who was like the coach on the floor. So that right there, even if it had got to the point where as though that team was back in the game, UConn was back in the game, you give that point guard that ball with 9 seconds, he's not going to pass that. He's not going to give that ball up. Not a Dean Smith team, not a Mike Krzyzewski team, none of the great coaches, right? So the point guard position at both levels, at the college level and at the NBA level, is showing that they need that position because those guys, it's about winning, and so those guys run. You need those guys on the court to run it. So I think it's coming back. I think that style of basketball is coming back.
Jim, you said the analytics are called for taking the 3 over the mid-range, right?
Yeah.
But we're also talking about excitement. Do you think a mid-range shot is more exciting than a 3?
I think the style of play that focuses more on the 3-point does so at the what you're losing by focusing on that is a lot of off-ball movement that we're used to seeing to try to get the ball in down low.
And aggressiveness, you know what I mean? Like the feel of the game. So I think that mid-range.
And so when it's the same thing over and over, pick and roll, shoot, kick it back out, shoot it. The diversity of play has kind of congealed down into just 3 or 4 tactics.
That's interesting, though.
That's why it's not a good watch for me, as far as watching NBA games. It's not joyful to watch for me because
you don't get the passion out of the game, right? You know what I mean?
A lot of launching threes, man. You know what I mean? There's not really a lot of ball movement. And you know what I mean? Just, one pass, you pass, shoot a 3. And that's why, for me personally, that's why it's not fun for me to watch.
I'm one of those guys that like to see the inside-outside game. I like to see the fast breaks. I like to see the dunks. You know what I'm saying? We've been conditioned going through the 80s and 90s that the most exciting play on the basketball court is a dunk. You know what I'm saying? Fast break dunk and stuff like that. We conditioned to that. You know what I'm saying? These players now, they conditioned to, let's see the wide open 3 and splash on the 3 and all that stuff, which is cool and everything. But that's why, like I said, like Tunk said, I don't watch basketball because the things that excite me about basketball, they're not doing anymore. You rarely see a fast break. You rarely see an exciting dunk. You know what I'm saying? If somebody gets dunked on, it's that #1 play on SportsCenter that day. And the reason being because it doesn't happen that much anymore. You don't see players getting dunked on no more and everything. So, yeah, the exciting play is what gets me for far as basketball, and it's just not there anymore.
Yeah, well, you never know how much you miss ball movement too until you don't see ball movement. Right? So you look at a team that has a half-court offense, and they can get an open shot that's not a 3. Right. You know what I mean? And that where you don't have to dribble the ball 13 times to get to this spot. So that is like the art form of it too. So.
Yeah, and when you're speaking of dribbling the ball 13 times, you dribble the ball 13 times to get to the top of the key. Yeah, what is exciting about that? You know what I'm saying? You're dribbling to get to the top of the key. And then I can understand that you're dribbling, driving, and creating that bubble so everybody can come in, and then you're kicking it out. But they're not even doing that. They wasting all these steps just to be at the top of the key.
Yeah.
I've been watching more games this year, well, at least the last month. And I think the NBA is exciting to watch now. I see a lot of alley-oops. I see fast breaks. I see 3s. I see mid-range. I see a lot. Now, I'm not watching every team in the league, but I'm watching what's available on Sunday night NBA and stuff like that. And to me, it's been some really exciting basketball, personally.
You know what's exciting to me right now in basketball? is the D League. If you go watch the D League and them guys hustling in D League, it'll remind you of what we used to watch when the ABA was playing. Those guys are hustling for contracts, huh?
I can see that.
Yeah, those guys are hustling for contracts, and those guys are putting up high percentage shots that they know they can make, which is dunks.
So why, man? Let me ask you this: Why are those guys putting up high percentage shots in the D League game?
Because they know that's what's going to get them contracts to get to the NBA. That's shooting percentage, and it's all about. And what I don't care what we say in the beginning or the middle or the end. It's all about them stats. So if you're taking a high percentage shot and your percentage is 50 and 60% of the shots that you're making because you're doing layups, because you're penetrating and doing dunks, that is, that's what getting them. That's what getting them second and third looks. You know what I'm saying?
And what's the point of the league there? It's not necessarily to win. I mean, that's always the point. But you're not optimizing all your strategy for wins. You want to see these kids develop and be ready and show their talents, right? That's what is the focus of the G League.
Mm-hmm. Right, and that's the reason why everybody's talking about Bronny. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're like, hey, Bronny should be down in the G League trying to play, because his game is not translating right now into a professional league to be a professional player right now in the NBA. So that them boys in the D League hustles. They are hustlers down there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just say watch a little bit more, like the whole games. Watch a little bit more. I think you'd be pleasantly surprised with the NBA right now.
Yeah, no, and I think, and you make a great point, Clayton. Those things aren't devoid in the game. Those things are still there. Yeah. It's just that the game that we immortalize from the 80s, right? Everything was kind of built around those type of tactics that was the foundation. Now it's more like the side dish.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
And Clayton, I really do think that you're right. I think it just developed more the closer you get to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? You see better basketball the closer you get to the playoffs. Whereas though you're week one in the NBA, you're not seeing good basketball. I don't watch the NBA until after the All-Star break.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's when I really pay attention after the All-Star break.
Right.
And that's where I think the NBA is, and you get a lot of people saying the NBA season is really just too long because the players really don't put their effort in until you get closer to the playoffs.
Right.
So that's where I think the NBA needs to understand that those beginning months, you're starting in November. Between November and February, your viewership needs to come up where people be exciting about every one of the 86 games instead of being excited about the last 30 games. You know what I'm saying?
You think they should cut the season then?
I really do. I really, and I'm gonna tell you why. And a lot of people might not agree with it, but when they were in that bubble and they played them bubble games and everything like that, I watched because everybody was hustling in that bubble. Everybody knew that you cannot lose a game because you only got like 30 games to play. So you got to come and play in every one of those games.
How many games you take it down to, man? You go from 82 to what?
I think a great will be 70. To me, 70 is a great mark.
That's a good number. That's a good number.
You know what I'm saying? Because it gives you the time to gel your team, and then it gives you time to focus where you need to focus at on your strengths and weaknesses. So 86 games is just
82.
Oh, now, I'm sorry.
How do you think 70 games is going to make people play night in and night out?
Because it leaves less room for error. The least games that you have, the more room for error that you cannot afford to have. So if you if you can get it down to 60, play 60 games.
You know what I'm saying? Go for that. The
NBA TV money.
The players aren't going to go for it because
that
takes money out of their pocket.
The owners are going to go for
it. It takes money out of everybody's pocket. You got less TV revenue.
Yeah.
That means the owners are making less money. That means the players got to get paid less money.
The networks ain't going for that,
right? And that's the problem. That's the problem with professional sports these days. TV and revenue runs the sport. That's
Well,
why
what
the
about-
NFL is going to 18 games. You might see them go to 19 games. That's why some of the home games are overseas now, because of the revenue grant.
What about like the battle of attrition, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like being able to stay healthy. Do y'all think that outweighs? Like, would you rather see a team like your superstar player be able to stay healthy, or you want to see, like, you know, you put that element in there with the battle of attrition? Like some teams might have a late season injury, or you know what I mean, or they might be wore down. Remember, like when what was the guy who coached 40 Minutes of Hell at Arkansas? Nolan Richardson, right? And those teams ran from, you know what I mean, from the start of the game to the end of the game, and they just ran teams into the ground, right?
Yeah,
So,
but in the NBA, it's like it's what we call it, and they had this discussion before in the NBA. The fans rather see, if I'm paying a ticket, I'm paying a ticket to see that All-Star playing that game that night that I'm paying for that ticket. You know what I'm saying? In the NBA, you got a crapshoot, especially in the first 3 months. You got a crapshoot. You can pay for a home game and you won't get no superstars in that home game because they sitting them all. It's not fair to the fan. But when it comes to revenue and money, it's all about the end of the season.
But I'm gonna tell you
what I'm saying?
Even if they cut the games down to 70, you will still have the same issues that you have now with players not playing every game.
Yeah. Right. And you're right. But the amount of, how can I say this? The amount of fucker-uppery, if that's a word, that you will get will be smaller. You know what I'm saying? So you have to, if you got 70, let's say you got 60 games. Now LeBron got to play at least 40 of those 60. He missed 20 games. Okay. You got 82 games. You got LeBron. He may be able to miss at least 50 games and still come into the league. Oh, well, we can get to the the playing game, and we still good. As a fan, that's not good for fans. Works perfectly for everybody else, but as a fan, it doesn't work for me because I don't want to pay this astronomical price to get in to see this team play. And then the team I'm playing, I want to see guys aren't playing.
Well, you know, it's interesting. We keep talking about what's not good for the fans, but yet when I turn on TV and watch these games, these arenas packed.
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
I don't get it.
I'm telling you this. I'm just saying this. When was the last sporting event you went to?
Huh?
Any of us? And the last sporting event we went to, what we've been upset is the player that we went to really see didn't play. That's all I'm saying. Like,
yeah, I understand that. I'm just saying, you know,
like if you paid $1,000 to go see Michael Jordan play in the game, and then you get there and they say Michael Jordan is sitting because he's on rest, how mad are you right now?
Yeah.
Well, I think first let me welcome Disciples 24. He said it's not the players, it's the owners trying to maximize their investment, right? And I think that's true. But remember, like take Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, and Larry Bird out of the equation, right? When you talk about, like, even the bench guys wanted to play because they had somebody behind them that wanted to take that was trying to get their spot. So and it worked the same way in football. Like, guys will have a concussion and was fake, you know what I mean, was acting like they was good and went right back in. For some reason, I mean, that's in sports right now, that's not really an issue because, you know, like they say you can't lose your spot if you to injury. So if you injure and you come back, then you get your spot back.
And that's a great example because look at Tom Brady. Remember, Tom Brady took Drew Bledsoe's spot when he got hurt and never looked back.
Yeah.
So you're right. That's what right.
It's a different deal, Mike. You paying all that money for an investment. You investing in that player. When he come back off injury, them owners don't want to have so many millions of dollars sitting on the bench.
That's true.
That's a waste. You know, you ain't getting a return on that. Like, just like the situation in Cleveland right now with Shador and Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is going to get the opportunity to play because they paying him so much money. You just ain't gonna have that sitting on the bench.
They already saying he QB1, Clayton. They already saying he QB1. You know what I'm saying?
But you kind of have to from a business standpoint. You know, it's like I got to try to get something back off this investment.
And that's to me, that's the problem with sports. Sports is now business. It's business sports first. It's all about the business first and the sports second.
But
It's always been, man. It's just business now. That's all.
Let me tell you, to me, that phrase "next man up" was a great phrase in the 80s and 90s. If I don't care how much they paid you, if you did not play, the next man was coming in, regardless. Well, that doesn't happen now.
Well, in the NFL, that's still a thing. You do have some players as outliers that's getting a boatloads of money, but for the most part, it ain't a whole bunch of guaranteed money in the NFL. And when you talking about outside of the quarterback or you pay your marquee receiver, stuff like that, them guys, they can't afford to stay out and stay hurt because the next man is coming for that job.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. But it's not like that in a lot of other sports. I think it's like that in hockey too. And that's what I'm trying to understand this. And Jim, maybe you can help me out with this. In hockey, you don't hear these problems in hockey. You know what I'm saying? Where players are sitting because, low management and stuff like that. Why is that? Why our conversation doesn't translate to hockey as well as it translates to all the other major sports?
Hockey has traditionally been legs behind the other sports in terms of money availability, right? And for the superstars, the superstar is going to get paid no matter what. Mm-hmm. But your average player, he's getting paid a lot less than your average NBA player, right? Mm-hmm. And so it has consistently had this blue collar kind of approach to it, where you gotta pay your dues. You gotta go through the juniors and the lower hierarchy systems just to make it into the pros, and hopefully that makes you into the NHL, right? Getting from the minors to the NHL. So there is like all sports, there's no shortage of good players that can play at the top level, but the money's not there, right? Like it is with the other major leagues, and so it's that they are your average player is very much more anonymous than a player for the NBA, right? Because if I'm McDaniel in Minnesota, I'm a role player. I'm not the superstar, but hey, I go out. Everybody knows who I am. I'm still riding high, man. If I'm Joe left wing for the LA Kings, nobody in LA knows who the hell I am.
So where do they rank, like as far as pay in major sports? Like where do hockey rank at then?
Oh, it's the bottom.
It's the bottom.
Let me.
They don't tell me they down there with the WNBA.
No. They're much more than that.
They're number 4, if I'm not mistaken, right? You still got baseball, football, basketball, and golf. But soccer might be coming up though.
Golf, I think golf is like one of the
top. The PGA.
Yeah, that's that money at that. Golf and tennis.
Yeah, but the golf. But see, the golf prizes coming in as you win though. Golf, big boys come in as winners.
Same thing with tennis.
Huh?
Is it the same thing with tennis?
Yeah, it's all about winning.
Prize.
Yeah, whereas the 4 major sports is who you are. But you can be on a sorry team but still get high paid.
golf and tennis are top heavy then, right? Because only if you got to be like really, really ranked to make money in golf and tennis.
Yeah,
No, not in golf.
yeah,
Really?
yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
No,
There's a whole bunch of golfers out
Mhm.
there that plays
Yeah.
on the PGA Tour that makes maybe $30,000-$40,000 for a match.
Not
Okay,
anymore.
you really make your money by winning. That's
Yeah,
where you
but
really
you
make your
can-
money at.
But you can make money too. Everybody on the tour get paid, and some of those golfers never win a tournament and can make millions for the season.
No, but but you're not. That's a rarity. That's a rarity in golf. That's not like you can play in a tournament in golf and get $2,000 for playing in the tournament because you hold a PGA card.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody in the just because you hold a PGA card and can play in a tournament, that doesn't mean you're making top money.
Right.
Top money
No, but
comes from
make-
winning the tournaments.
Making $1
Okay.
million
Coming
for a
in a-
season is not
Huh?
top money.
Right, that's what I'm saying. When you got a $10 million tournament win, if you get $1 million for playing in that tournament, that's not top money.
Right.
But all the golfers aren't making that money.
Right. Everybody ain't making
Right.
$1 million a year.
Right, like
on
you
PGA,
got
right?
some golfers that make $3,000 for playing in a tournament.
Yeah, but that's
You got
every
some
week.
golfers that don't make no money at all for playing in a tournament.
I don't know about that.
You gotta make the cut.
Listen,
You
I
gotta
play
make the
golf.
cut. You gotta
Yeah,
make the cut.
I play golf. Just because you have a PGA card, that does not mean you're making money.
I don't think you gotta make the cut.
Yeah, you do. You have
Get
to.
money?
Yeah,
I don't know.
you can't be sorry at golf and make money.
Shit,
It's not about
I'm about to go. If that's the case, I'm about to go. Shit.
Yeah, you can't.
No,
you
but
got,
you
gotta
wouldn't
be
get a
able to.
card. Tom,
Huh?
you wouldn't get on the PGA tour. You wouldn't even get on the tour, bro. So no, it ain't like
To
that.
get on, to put it this way, to get on the PGA Tour, you got to be good at the amateurs.
Yeah.
In golf, you work your way up.
Hold up. This is a question I got for you, man. How do you get on the tour?
By working your way up through the amateurs. See, in golf, it really matters. So you have 3 levels of golf. What I do is called beginner's golf. No matter how good I am in beginner's golf, it's not going to matter until I get into the amateurs. Okay, and that means you're playing on better golf courses, you're playing on longer golf courses and harder golf courses.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, once you dominate that area or just be good in that area, you qualify for what they call your PGA Tour card.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you qualify for that, you're still not making money. That just means that you played at a high level in the amateurs, and now that you're available in the PGA Tours. Now you have to get on the tours. You have to actually be invited to the tours because everybody don't play in the Masters. Everybody doesn't play in these tournaments. You may get the top 60 players. You may invite 60 players to play in your tournament. So now you got to get invited to the tournament. Now, once you get invited, you got to do well in these tournaments. That's how you start making the money now because you're doing better in the tournaments. But you still got to get invited. Just because you hold your PGA card, that doesn't mean that you're going to get invited to these tournaments.
So,
And it ain't like there's a tournament all over the world. There's
Don't you have
tournaments.
to win like regional opens and those kinds of things to make
Exactly.
it to the next level?
Yes.
So
You got to be good locally, regionally, and that's where all your amateur stuff comes in at.
that's just what I'm about to ask you. That's just what I'm about to ask you.
How
So
much
if you're
competition
at
is there
amateur,
now?
if you're at that amateur level now, you got to be winning as an amateur to qualify for a PGA card to get your PGA
Right.
card.
Right. And that doesn't guarantee you money. That
I
just
just looked it
guarantees you
up.
spots.
I just looked it up. You do not get paid money if you miss the cut in the PGA Tour events. You got to make the cut to get paid something.
Okay. How many in the cut line? How many on average? How many people make the cut?
Well, that's going to depend on the tournament as well.
Right.
Right. In the cut line.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to depend on the tournament.
Okay.
Most PGA Tour events use a 36-hole cut
Right.
system, typically
Right.
keeping the top 65 players.
65. Right. Right.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, but 65 players, that's not a lot of players considering how big the pool is, right?
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's not. You can have you could have 100 players trying to qualify for the cup.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, because a lot of tournaments, if you look at a lot of tournaments start during the week.
Mm-hmm.
You just advertise the last couple of rounds because that's the most exciting rounds in the tournament.
Exactly.
The last 2 or 3. But they're playing all the way to get to that point. That's the thing about golf. You're playing to get to the TV time.
Right.
Okay, you're playing to get there. Whereas though a professional like golf and like hockey and all that, you're playing at that moment. Golf, you got to play to get to that moment.
You got to earn the right to get
the cut.
Right.
If you miss the cut, you still got to pay your caddy.
Yeah.
I mean,
you laid out the money to get there. You paid for your own travel, your own hotel.
I got a question. Now, a lot of these golfers, once they get a pro PGA tour, don't they also have sponsorships? Aren't they sponsored?
Not all of them. Not all of them. Just because you get a PGA card, that doesn't mean you're going to get sponsored. Sponsorship comes with
winning
familiarity. Golf, the sponsorships come from playing well.
Yeah, but don't a lot of those golfers on tour have sponsorships?
No. Just because let me tell you, and I know this, just because, let's say, if I wear Adidas wear and everything, okay? A lot of that stuff is given to you. That doesn't mean you're being sponsored. That means they're saying, hey, I'm gonna give you this, and if you become good, you may be able to make money. It's just like tennis shoes. Just like tennis shoes. If you're in high school and they give you Nike, do that mean Nike sponsoring you? Absolutely not. No, that doesn't mean Nike sponsoring you.
I look at it.
Nike's not giving you a dime to wear their tennis shoes.
No, that's a good point you make. And
you more so advertising for Nike than
advertising for them.
Nike's not giving you a dime. Nike saying, I'll give you these shoes and you wear them.
Right.
But they're not sponsoring you.
They're not endorsing you. You're not paying them. Yeah, you're not paying them for it. I see.
No, but I mean,
you're endorsing them.
Yeah. You just get
that tennis shoe does have a monetary value on it.
Yeah.
So you are getting some kind of monetary value.
Not for the player.
Not for the players getting new shoes. They ain't getting no money.
But that has a monetary value.
Yeah,
the shoes cost money. So you can look at it like you ain't getting paid, but that has a monetary value.
But what is the value though?
Whatever the shoes cost.
But you're going to pay that anyway.
Right.
But you don't have to. They're giving it to you. So that has monetary value.
Right. But as a sponsor like this, if I'm going to play golf, they know I'm going to wear a polo shirt regardless. Okay. The sponsors know that. So they like, okay, you're going to wear one regardless. What if I give you a shirt?
Okay, but you're
giving them and then if you play well, this can turn into something.
But
so they know you're going to wear it regardless.
I understand you're not getting a formal paycheck or whatever. But if I'm giving you a shirt that has monetary value, I'm actually giving you money.
Well, what I'm saying is, and I see your point, but you're going to wear a shirt anyway. You're going to wear it anyway.
We get that, but that's not my point. The point is, if you got a brand that wants to give you some of their merchandise has monetary value. So they're not giving you a check or whatever, but that has value. So in essence, you are getting money.
It has value to them. They're giving it to you. They're giving it to you too. Well, they're giving it to you so they can say, "Hey, look at that! I have 150 people wearing my gear." Okay.
I get the advantage. I get the advantage that they have. I get it. They're getting exposure. All I'm saying is, if somebody's getting merchandise that has monetary value and they're giving it to you to wear, you're getting money in a sense.
But look, the thing is, what is the resale value? Say if they give you some sneakers, right, and you wear them on the tour, the resale value to that is minimum. You know, that's not like you signed to Def Jam and they give you one of their.
Listen, I'm not talking about the size of it. I'm just saying, once you wear it on tour, that might increase the value of it because it's been part of history. It's been part of the PGA Tour.
Yeah, but you only get history if you win.
Amount of money that didn't come out of your pocket to buy that gear, anyways.
Say that again.
It even if it's a minimal amount, it's money that didn't come out of that
your
pocket.
Right. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying. That's why I say I kind of view it as sponsorship, because if they're giving you something to wear, even though you're exposing their product, they're giving it to you. They're sponsoring you in a sense. It might not be giving you a whole bunch of money.
But it still goes back. All right, so they are sponsoring you, right? When they give you products. And the more success you have on the tour, the more you benefit from the sponsorships, right? So it's like starting out at the bottom. All right, first we're going to give you gear. And once you start winning, now you're worthy to get paid X amount of money.
Yes.
And as you move up, you're worthy to get more money. So, all right.
Yes. Yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with that. But I want to say this about hockey.
We're not saying anything is wrong with it.
I was just saying, I just view it like that. But I'm going to say this about hockey, too. As far as the viewership and the money and stuff, hockey is a great sport. But hockey is not one of those sports that captures the imagination of the average person.
Yeah.
So it's hard for hockey to really gain a whole bunch of popularity and stuff because of the nature of it.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a niche.
It's a niche. Yeah.
And it's kind of cultural.
It's cultural too.
To me, hockey is in the same category that you would put golf, NASCAR racing. And all that type of thing. It's something that you gotta love to watch. You know what I'm saying? Whereas those stuff like football, people love football. That's not even football fanatics.
And don't know anything about it.
Right? Don't know anything about it. They just know if everybody's watching it, so I got to be in the in crowd. Basketball the same way.
NASCAR though, if you don't know anything about NASCAR, you know you can't do that and relate. You be like, "What the hell? I'm getting dizzy watching these dudes."
Right. Like a lot of people. When I talk about Michael Jordan, and here we go again. I'm talking about Mike, and a good thing though.
Well,
this year, his team is the most successful team right now going to NASCAR. They won 4 races. Okay. And you know how the only reason that I know that is because of Michael Jordan. Okay. I'm not a NASCAR fan. I couldn't tell you nothing about NASCAR at all. Couldn't tell you. But I can tell you right now that Michael Jordan has won 4 races right now, and they're leading the leaderboard.
All I know is
because Michael Jordan.
All I know is they turn left.
Yeah.
So and that was the same way with me in the beginning of hockey. Only thing I knew about hockey when I started watching was Wayne Gretzky. And that was the only reason I was watching hockey, because I was an LA fan and I loved Wayne Gretzky. So I started watching it. Then I started playing it as a video game, and then fell into Mario Lemieux and all that stuff. So my knowledge of hockey, expanded because of one situation. To me, a lot of people don't, especially like golf. Like I wouldn't know golf until I started playing it and then understanding it. That's the average fan goes with the momentum of the sport.
I'm gonna take golf out of the category with hockey and stuff, because when Tiger came along, that phenomenon, I don't know why, but somehow he captured the imagination of the average person that didn't know nothing about golf. So sometimes you get a phenomenon that come through.
Clayton, let's be real about this though, and I'm gonna put it out there. I think because of Tiger being black and dominating golf, where it was always a white dominant sport, made people stand up and recognize golf.
That was part of. But also some of those spectacular shots he hit like with his short game coming out of bunkers. Yeah. A lot of that stuff, man, you didn't even have to know nothing about golf to know that was some amazing shit you was watching.
Tiger was going to be a phenomena no matter what the demographics. Just because of the way he played. I think to your point, E-Man, his demographics added a little fuel to the fire, because like we've never seen this before, and now we've never seen it before with someone who's looked like this.
Right.
So even if Tiger looked like Jack Nicklaus, that it still would have been phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Tiger would have played his game regardless. Tiger would have been Tiger regardless. Black, white, Indian, he'd have been Tiger. What I'm saying, the viewership from what Clayton, and if I'm wrong, Clayton, let me know. But from the viewership, how it expanded golf in general, to where as though not only white individuals was like in golf, but then made black individuals recognize like, hey, this may be something I want to play.
And Asians.
Right, and Asians too. You know, it turned up the situation though, where as though everybody started to recognize.
Well, golf was
And that's
considered
what
like
I think
a rich man's sport, right?
Hockey sports translation is because hockey, they had what was the black guy name that's now on ESPN now, but was a pretty good
PK Subban. PK Subban.
Right. And you know, he brought a demographic to hockey that normally wasn't there. And ESPN recognized it now that he's gone and keep him into the hockey field. That's what a lot of sports needs to understand, what their demographics are right now and how to bring a bigger demographic in.
Yes.
It depends on how expensive that sport is to play, though. You know what I mean? Because like golf, all them, you know, you can't go on tour and you only got 3 clubs.
Yo, golf, let me tell you, golf is expensive as hell. You pay for everything in golf. And if you don't win and make the cut, yo, T fees on a PGA championship tour may be easily $300, $400, $500 to play around. And if you ain't making a cut, that coming out your pocket.
Right.
So it ain't golf ain't cheap.
And that ain't a sport you can pick up at the local rec center.
Right. Exactly.
And that is why soccer is the world's most favorite populous sport. All you need is a ball and some friends, and you're going.
Yep. That's true. And basketball was like that too. All you need is a ball.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Because you can, we made basketball hoops out of milk crates.
Yeah, we did.
We found a way to make basketball hoops.
Mm-hmm.
So look, before we get out here, I want to ask y'all, because we did speak in the chat throughout the week about Kiyan Anthony going back to Syracuse. Like, what y'all think about that move?
Makes sense. I mean, to me, I thought that was going to be a no-brainer because of Carmelo's relationship with Syracuse. I mean, I didn't know he had an option to jump in the portal. I didn't think he would jump in the portal. I just don't think that's their makeup. I don't think that's him and Melo makeup and game plan. I know he got his own life to live, but I don't think that's their makeup, you know.
I think it says more about the time that we're living in that we're talking about it this way, because in any other era, it would have been a non-topic. But because we live in the era and the NIL and the portal era that we do, that it stands out, that becomes the story.
Yeah.
And plus, I mean, I think it makes sense for him to stay and let them try to build around him at Syracuse because he's the man at Syracuse.
Yeah.
You know, he may go somewhere else where he's not the man and they build around somebody else and they bring in him to help build around somebody else, depending on what the NIL is. At least at Syracuse, you know, you could be the man and keep it moving.
Is he the man though?
I don't know if he's the man, but I do think that for him to stay there, it teaches him how to persevere. You know what I mean? Because if you leave Syracuse and you go somewhere else, there's still some issues some things on your game that you need to work on. So you don't do you no good to leave Syracuse. You know, just develop your game and learn how to persevere. I think that's good for Carmelo to instill that into his son.
Hey, he can always come down to Duke.
That's a great word, Mike. Persevere.
Yeah.
I think that's something you can't really teach, but I think what it'll do is it'll teach him to trust that he will persevere.
Right.
That's dope. No, that's a great word. Yeah.
One more thing. We also spoke about that Diana Rossini and what's the guy? Mike Vrabel?
Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, man.
Oh man. All her old stuff coming up.
Yeah.
They bringing out all her old stuff.
Everything, people starting to really look at what she said, even publicly about her marriage.
Yeah.
You know,
Man,
the Athletic is investigating her now.
Who is?
The Athletic, who she works for, who she reports for. They're investigating her now, so she won't produce anything right now while she's under investigation.
I saw an old, or I don't know how old it was, an interview she was doing with Kevin O'Connell, and she was buttering him up, and it just seemed like normal kind of she was, she was giving him props and being
Like
friendly and everything.
Almost.
But he was in hindsight, it looked like he was trying to shut her down.
Yeah.
So maybe and I could be reading too much into it, but it almost felt like people knew.
Around the league, they know. They used to say that any of her stories she broke at Tennessee was courtesy of Mike Vrabel. This was when he was coaching in Tennessee. Yeah. But I think a private investigator. I think either her husband or his wife or somebody. I think it was a private investigator taking them flicks.
Oh yeah. Somebody was watching them.
Yeah. Somebody was watching. What do y'all think about though? Like people that like try to move up and move up, like take that. Is this going to deter them? That like they're gonna see like eventually this kind of conduct is going to catch up with me because the other lady, what's the Joy Taylor? Some stuff came out about her.
This situation has predated sports. It's been in business since day one.
Yes.
And someone will always try to take the easy road.
Yeah. And it might calm down for a minute, but it's gonna rear its head again. You're gonna have two people, our situation not gonna be like theirs, and it's gonna always be a thing. With men and women, and I always said this, men and women, when they gotta work around each other all day long, it's inevitable because we're human beings. It's inevitable, man. It's inevitable. Somebody gonna find somebody attractive.
Hey, as much as I love to keep conversating with y'all, I love the sport and everything. I gotta go, brothers. Gotta go.
It's time to go anyway, man.
I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all next Sunday.
Yeah,
Peace
man.
out,
Y'all
brothers.
enjoy your week, man.
Have a great week, guys.
All right, you too. All right, fellas. All right, man. Everybody, make sure to like and subscribe. Appreciate everybody who tuned in, and don't forget to leave a comment, and we will check you all out next Sunday. Peace.